In this video, I will be providing you with information on how you can install a skirt board on a stairway that has a nosing on the steps. So that would be an overhang, and in our example here, it's going to be a 1-inch overhang, and the thickness of the tread is going to also be 1 inch for making it as easy as possible on me. So just remember those numbers: 1 inch tall, 1 inch out. And then let's go ahead and grab our skirt board. And of course, your skirt board might not look like this. And of course, you can use a variety of different materials for skirt board. Now, this is the second video in this series. I'm not going to go over all the details about laying out the marks. I would suggest watching that video, and I will put a link to that video in either the description area or the comment area. And of course, you can always just set a straight edge like the framing square on top of the steps and mark them. And keep in mind that our stairway here is perfectly drawn. There are no mistakes. All of the steps and riser heights are exactly the same. However, yours might not be that way. So you're going to have to pay attention to that when laying out your steps, because it's not going to do you a lot of good to draw a line from this step here if it's tilted a little bit, if you're going to be dropping the skirt board down and using this line here for this step here. However, it might work just fine if you're going to be sliding the skirt board forward and using this line here for this step here. And this isn't always going to be easy to lay out a piece of skirt board that is going to be extremely accurate. However, I will be providing details for how you can cover up all of your mistakes in future videos. Then we're going to add our nosing to the lines that we've drawn on our skirt board. And I would strongly suggest measuring each one of the nosings, just in case some of the measurements are off a little bit. So you should end up with something that looks like this. Then you can go ahead and cut it, and I would strongly suggest be as careful as you can when cutting all of these marks. Then you can go ahead and slide it into place, and if everything was cut correctly, it should look something like this. However, if it doesn't, you can always start making adjustments and doing a little more trimming to modify the skirt board. However, if you don't like that idea, or if you have rounded stair nosings, then we can go ahead and cut a section of the stair tread. And you can see here where I have marked it the width of the skirt board and then cut it out. So this is probably the easiest way you're going to come across, because you won't have to cut this right here, which is not going to be easy, especially if the front of the treads are not square and might be curved or cut at a bevel. Then simply slide it in place. And if it looks as good as the one that I've done here, then you have done a fantastic job at shaping a piece of skirt board to go around some steps with a nosing.